Assalamualaikum students. Today we will start the topic of the bones of the lower limb, and in this today we will discuss the pelvic bone and the bony pelvis.
Pelvic girdle. So pelvic girdle, it is formed by two innominate or hip bones. So here you can see this is the one hip bone and this one is the second hip bone. This hole is the one hip bone or innominate bone, and this one is the second hip bone. So pelvic girdle is formed by the two hip bones. Now what is pelvis or bony pelvis? It is a term given to basin shaped structure formed by two pelvic bones and the associated sacrum and the coccyx. So you can see now this is the basin shaped structure formed by the two hip bones, and this is the sacrum, and this one is the coccyx. Now each hip bone, it consists of three fused bones, that is the ilium, ischium and pubis. So here you can see the ilium, the pubis and the ischium. The ilium is the upper part, pubis is the interior part, it is located anteriorly, and ischium is the posterior part. On the lateral surface, there is a deep depression known as acetabulum. So here you can see on lateral surface there is a deep depression which is known as acetabulum. This acetabulum forms the hip joint with the almost spherical head of the femur. Here you can see this is the femur bone and this is the head of the femur, and it is forming a joint with the acetabulum. Now this acetabulum is a cup shaped depression on the lateral surface. So you can well appreciate that this is the medial surface and this one is the lateral surface of the hip bone where the acetabulum is located.
Ilium is the upper flattened part of the hip bone. You can see this is the ilium, this is the upper flattened part of the hip bone, and it presents the iliac crust in its upper part. It is a thick rounded curve border which is known as iliac crust. The anterior curve of which is the prominent part in the lower abdomen, which is known as anterior superior iliac spine. You can feel your anterior superior iliac spine in the lower part of the anterior abdomen. Now on the posterior side of the iliac crust lies the articular surface of the ilium, which articulates with the sacral bone. Now below the articular surface there is a notch known as greater sciatic notch. Greater sciatic notch. Now this notch is converted into foramen by ligaments, and important structures, they pass through it from the pelvic cavity into the gluteal region or from the gluteal region into the pelvic cavity.
So here you can see the sacroiliac joint formed by the sacrum and the ilium.
This is the anterior part of the bone, and it articulates with the pubis of the other hip bone at a cartilaginous joint known as pubic symphysis. So you can see here these are the two pubic bones, and they are articulating with each other at a cartilaginous joint which is known as pubic symphysis. Now below the pubic bone and between the pubis and the ischium lies a large foramen. This is known as the obturator foramen. Obturator foramen.
Ischium. Now ischium is the inferior and the posterior part of the hip bone. So you can see here, this is the ischium, this is the ilium, this is the pubis, and this one is the ischium. This is the posterior and inferior part of the hip bone. Now the rough inferior projection of the ischia, the ischial tuberosity. Here you can see ischial tuberosity. It bears the weight of the body when we are seated. So when we sit on our ischial tuberosities. Now the union of these three bones, they take place at the acetabulum.
Spine is the part of posterior border of the ischium above of the pelvis. It is a thin and pointed triangular eminence, more or less elongated in different subjects. Now this is very important landmark you can see here. This is used to assess the descent of fetal head during the delivery. So it is used to assess the progression of the labor during the delivery of the fetus. You see here in the acetabulum, it is formed by the union of the three bones, the ilium, the pubis, and the ischium. So this is the acetabulum, and this is formed by the union of the three bones. You can very well appreciate here. This is the uh, animation of the hip bone. You can see this is the anterior part, and this one is the posterior part, and this is the upper part, the ilium. The lower part is ischial tuberosity is shown here in red here. You can see that where they are located around the, this is the sacrum, and these are the two hip bones forming the pelvis. So pelvis, as I have told you before, pelvis is formed by two hip bones, sacrum and the coccyx. Now these are the two hip bones, sacrum and the coccyx. The sacrum and the coccyx bones are the part of vertebral column. They are the fused vertebrae that form separate bones. Now it is divided into upper and lower parts by brim of the pelvis. Now this brim of the pelvis is formed by the promontory of the sacrum. So this is the promontory of the sacrum. The body of the, this promontory is the prominent border of the first sacral vertebral body, prominent border of the first sacral vertebral body. So this is the sacral promontory and the iliopectineal line. So it starts from here, iliopectineal line, iliopectineal line. So this is the pelvic brim. Above it is the false pelvis, while below is the true pelvis or the pelvic cavity. I will show you in the next slide. Pelvic outlet, as there was a pelvic inlet which was the upper boundary of the pelvic cavity. This pelvic outlet is the lower boundary of the pelvic cavity. So this here was the upper boundary, and here is the lower boundary shown in the green color. So you can see that in the anterior part of this boundary is formed by the ischial bone and posterior part by the ligaments. Now, the terminal parts of urinary and gastrointestinal tracts and the vagina pass through the pelvic outlet. Also, it is important in the fetus, in the delivery of the fetus. So, the fetal head, the fetus also pass from this pelvic outlet. Here you can see the pelvic brim, the sacral promontory, the iliopectineal line on both sides. So above it is the false pelvis and below is the true pelvis or the pelvic cavity. Here again, you can see this area is the false pelvis, which contains the abdominal contents, and this one is the true pelvic cavity, and this contains the pelvic organs. Between male and female pelvis. So female pelvis, the bones are in females, all the bones they are lighter and thinner, while in male the bones are heavier and thicker. So you can assess from here that the bones of males are heavier and thicker. They are thicker, so they are heavier. Now false pelvis, you know what is false pelvis? The area above the pelvic brim here. So you can see that this is shallow while this is deep. The area above the this pelvic brim in the male is deep as compared to the females. In female, the false pelvis is shallow, while the pelvic cavity is wide and shallow in the females. The pelvic cavity is narrow and deep in males. Pelvic inlet, round or oval. So pelvic inlet is the or pelvic brim. This is also known as pelvic inlet. This is rounded or oval, while in male it is heart shaped and smaller. So in male it is heart shaped and smaller as compared to the female. The pelvic outlet comparatively large and the pelvic outlet comparatively small. Now subpubic angle, this is the subpubic angle. This is you can see here it is large while in male it is narrow, less. Ischial tuberosities are more everted towards the outside, while ischial tuberosities they face medially here inside. So ischial tuberosity in females, they are everted outside. They are facing outside, while the ischial tuberosities are longer in male and they are facing more medially inside towards the pelvic cavity.